skills in the gaming. 1xBet.
Look around. Screens are everywhere. They allow you to immerse yourself in another world, into hundreds of different worlds. Here you can be anything you want, and we will support you in this. OG, Team Spirit, 1xBet. If you are with us, you win.
Hello, son.
Hi, Mom.
Pretty girl.
This is Eva.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Your dad's just making his favourite dinner. It's duck. Come on inside. They're all probably too gruesome to tell you while you're eating at the table. How's your food? Is everything okay? Good, good. You seem to know each other.
Yeah. This is the new ambassador for 1xBet.
Oh, I see.
Everyone felt good when Eva Elfie became the new ambassador of 1xBet.
Welcome in everybody to the European region of the RES Dota 2 Regional. I'm going to be joined by Bowie today. Bowie, we're going to be going all day here. 3 series to come. And I think we can jump straight into the schedule just to see how it is going to break down. Hopefully we're going to be able to jump in. Because we are going to see JustBetter versus Monte, then Dandelions versus Mouse, then Navi Jr. versus Mouse. So we've got this Mouse doubleheader coming up today. And everybody in Group A, you're looking to getting towards the end of this one, establishing where everyone's going to land. So have you got any favorites for this group?
Man, I want to say that Mouse are my favorites. When I look at their players, I'm a big fan of so many of them. I think, Supreme, their mid laner, he got so much trash when he was playing for Alliance, when I think there were other problems there that were, pretty big as well. And he got really, really good ever since those times. I think he's kind of a sleeper mid laner. Big Onit fan as well. He played for Geek Fam. He keeps kind of jumping between SEA and Europe. So I think as a player, he's very interesting. I really like Mouse right now. But also I think a second runner-up for me is probably Dandelions. Big Mobe fan. VTune, he played for so many different teams. Very promising player that never seemed to click. So to me, I think Dandelions and Mouse are 2 of the teams I'm most excited about in Group A.
Yeah, and it's nice to see these teams coming through, like you say, into these events. It's not just the usual tier 2 names that we're seeing. We are seeing that kind of the mix up, the new bloods coming through as well, and teams starting to perform. I mean, again, I think I'm only going to use the example for a while here. The Klim Sanich team or the now 1win team. 6 months ago, no one had ever heard of them. They were looking amazing in qualifiers. They were looking great in smaller events. They were looking great in just in general play. But they hadn't made that jump into the big names, into the big events. And so things like just being able to practice and get yourself going, and then getting into events like this. I mean, you've got to love RES for putting this on. This is like an amazing event for these teams to be able to get together, play it out, and like you say, find these skill levels, find these power levels. See just who is going to be maybe that next diamond in the rough to come through. So taking a look at the table, we can see at the top it is going to be Navi Jr. I do believe, because they've played one more series than Monte. And then moving through that, we've got Monte, Dandelions, JustBetter, Mouse, and Havu. Unfortunately, Havu, they've played all their series. They will be going out. They're 0 wins, 10 losses, only 10 points on the board, so no way to get themselves up the table. But everybody else has a way to get up there, has a way to get out. And Mouse, with just the day today, they've got 2 series today, 2 series tomorrow for the end of Group A. They could completely jump right up the table here to the top if everything goes their way.
Exactly. And I do think they're fit for the top 3. If I had to guess, I would probably put Mouse, Monte, and Dandelions as my top 3. But, Navi Jr., they're pretty solidified in first place. Sure, they did lose a couple of points with some of their games, but we might just get a tiebreaker for, 3rd, 4th place. Time will tell. But this is, super interesting group. Group B also has a lot of exciting teams. And, that's for a couple of days from now. Group A, still a lot to give for us.
Yeah, I do believe, just to give a quick shout to the scheduling. So we're going to finish off Group A tomorrow, and then we take a 10-day break. We're back on March 25th for the series, for the Group B. We'll be able to run through that in the next. I think that's about a week's worth of games there as well. So yeah, there is a bit of a break between Group A and Group B. So we will be finishing up the groups in the next 2 days, and I think it's going to be me and you breaking down nearly all of it to see how this group ends.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of them. I think we're going to do like the 2 of the last games, and usually there's someone doing the first one, but it's going to be really interesting. But, for this series specifically, I think I kind of have to give it to Monte. They're having a pretty decent run. JustBetter, the fact that they ended up losing to Navi Jr., I think Navi Jr., they're kind of middle of the pack for me. So losing 0-2 to them kind of gives me the vibes that Monte probably has a sizable advantage. But, Dota is crazy, and they did have a lot of time to watch what these really good teams are doing in Group A, so maybe they're going to be a bit more prepared than they were against Navi Jr.
Yeah, and this is again an advantage that Mouse have there as well. That Beta, they have 3 series left to play. Mouse have 4 series left to play. So like you say, they've been able to watch these groups, study the replays, come through, see how the teams have played, and what they are drafting. Maybe keeping something up their sleeves coming into these final couple of days here as well. So looking at it, I think if I'm looking at it, I'm probably leaning towards Dandelions as my favourites, but Mouse are a close second here for Group A. And then, I don't know, maybe just because of the brand name recognition, I'm leaning towards Navi Jr. there as top 3 there as well. But this is why we play the games, to see how it is going to break down. Just looking through to see if we've had any surprises as well in terms of anything being drafted up. Navi Jr. started off against Monte with the Broodmother, and that did not seem to work. But yeah, just looking through what Monte and Better have been playing, looks like it's fairly standard for the 2 teams. There's not many big surprises here in the drafts.
Yeah, I did look a little bit, and nothing seems to be like too crazy. And I mean, speaking of crazy, we might actually get a patch today. I'm not sure if in the middle of this tournament, but everything seemed to align with today being the patch day. So maybe tomorrow is going to be, exciting with tons of new things. Maybe the last series that, a man would love to hope for a patch. It's always so refreshing, so fun. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe we get a patch, and those picks are going to be all over the place.
Yeah, maybe we are going to be coming through as the first casters here on the new big patch, and maybe, I mean, your fingers crossed, right? It's not just going to be a letter patch. If it is a patch today, we get the full whack. We get Crown Fall. We get the Ringmaster. We get the the new.
I want 8.00, bro. 8.00 or nothing. All right, that's what I want. But we do have a draft now. Just looking at the bands here, nothing seems to be too crazy. Primo, not that much of a first phase ban, but against some teams that really like it, I can see it being a problem.
Yeah, it is coming back into the meta. It feels like teams are starting to pick that one up. It disappeared for a little bit, but like you say, teams are now starting to recognize the hero is still strong. On the other side, Timsaw and Bat Rider, 2 heroes that we usually see ban out anyway. The Tiny being banned, seeing it a lot more. I mean, teams have kind of figured out this Echo Saber into the Blink, into the Kanda brooch pickup here for the Tiny. So even though he wasn't a thing before, I'd say us casts in the South American region, he's in full swing now, full popularity, and I am starting to see more and more bans on the hero.
Yeah, we saw 4DR just playing a lot of it when we were casting the Latam RES, and it does seem to be slowly translating to other players. I think in Europe, Thompson was the one that kind of debuted it, and it's very strong. The flex to support also helps. We do see Chan being banned. I was looking here at some of the let's say favorite heroes of Monte. They have Gyro, Primo, Tiny, and Lina. So they already banned 2 of those heroes, the Primo and the Tiny. So maybe Gyrocopter can be snatched, or Lina can be snatched, because Lina, strong hero, but not something that we're seeing a lot, right? I think Puck, there's way more popular heroes, at least in other regions right now.
Yeah, I think it was Itaro was talking about it there as well, that he still considers Lina to be a stronger carry. Maybe not, stronger than a mid lane Lina, but he does seem to be like, that it is a hero that can still. But yeah, I think they're just. But I mean, at the minute we are seeing the lifestealers, the Svens coming out. So being able to get that kiteability out on something like Alina might play to their strengths. But at the minute, I'm just not seeing it picked up at all.
Nope, we're gonna go for the DK here and JustBetter. They did ban Undying, so I'm assuming just gonna be off lane, right? You ban this Undying, not at all a popular first phase ban. So it's probably just a way to possibly protect this DK if it's gonna be in the off lane.
Yeah, and we'll see, like you say, how they want to play around this. I mean, they could put it in that mid lane if they wanted to. Maybe if Monte, like you said, go for that puck pickup. The Dragon Knight doesn't really lose the lane to the puck in the mid lane there as well. Might be able to pull off a small advantage, so it could still be that flex hero. Really nice flex for them. But yeah, like you say, JustBetter, they might be considering this in the off lane. And to be fair, the build doesn't really change too much between the off and the mid, so I guess it's just wherever they feel more comfortable putting it.
Yeah, I think this is probably a hero that they are willing to put in mid if Monte picks the Lina. I have a feeling they're not going to ban it, and so the DK can actually sustain himself. You might need to get an extra point in your passive, but you can still hold your own there. Just get the double bracer, and you should be fine. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to try. If they're actually going to ban the Lina. I think if they don't, the DK has more of a chance to be mid, as they do pick this Enigma here. Not sure. I guess they played it on Jeffe once. So actually, they played it off lane and +4.
Yeah, and I was going to say that it seems to be a hero that is sneaking back in there, that is being played 3, 4, and 5, more in that support role than the offlane role, but again, another good flex hero. If you see this, do you look towards picking up is this the opening for the Dawnbreaker to get back into the meta, because the Enigma is now starting to get a little bit more popular, or do you consider the Dawnbreaker not a good enough counter to the Enigma anymore?
I think it depends, because if it's a support Enigma, you don't really care about canceling the black hole nearly as much, right? He usually has to buy those more aura type items. His black holes aren't going to be that important. But if it is offlane Enigma, then I think so. I guess Silencer is too that of a hero, but Rubik has been picked way more often. We saw even offlane Rubik from OG. They also played it as 5 and 4. So if they have a feeling this could be offlane, you can pick the Rubik. They only have this DK picked up, so there's still a lot of openings here, and they're using a lot of their reserve time here, Monte.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what they want to be banning out here as well. We already see several bans coming through for them though as well. Like you say, the Chen, the Batrider, Timsaw, now the Centaur, Warren are coming out. So maybe they are thinking this is going to be the Dragon Knight mid. Meanwhile, on the other side, we are going to see the Beastmaster ban, the Alchemist, Undying, like you say, maybe to try and just keep that Dragon Knight sustained if it is that offlane flex, the Primal Beast. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of the thing, right, that we're going through so many bans, but with this shift in the way that the draft works now, it's so hard to kind of predict, because we only see the one hero before we see several bans coming out. So they actually do go for the Rubik here, Monte, maybe as a block pick, for JustBetter.
I think so. And because you can play 5, you're still not sure if the Enigma is going to be offlane or 4. They do go for that Gyro and JustBetter, which, I think they... So this is also a snatch pick, because Crystallize is playing a lot of Gyro. I wonder if they're willing to play this as a support here, because at least, obviously, Gyro, very normal hero, every carry can play it, but because it's so early, I wonder if they're willing to play this as a support.
Yeah, and we'll see how they want to flex that one out, if they do want to flex it at all, or they want to put it in the carry. I mean, it is a really good support there as well. You've got that long-range stun coming in from the homing missile, a lot of damage on the slows coming through from the call down there as well, the harass from the rocket barrage, so it does flex really nicely, like you say, into that support if they want to try and put it there. But with the Venge coming through here as well, you are kind of locked in. And again, another fairly nice long-range stun to come out against the Enigma if there's no BKB there, if there's no way for the Enigma to kind of deal with that magic missile. But the Storm Spirit comes out, good backline dive, can get on top of the Vengeful Spirit, get a quick kill here on Monte as that fight gets out if they get on top of the Venge.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this gyro pick because if they decide to play offlane Enigma, you can have this as a carry. You just destroy the lane. The Eidolons cannot sustain themselves. Even if you buy a Buckler or something of that sort, still a really hard lane. But if they decide to play it as a support, you're still going to have the Venge to deal with the Black Holes anyways, and you can get a better carry, as they will go for the Luna here on Monte. So it's going to be Crystallized Luna. I also like Monte's draft quite a bit. I think you're going to have this ball with the Luna and the Enigma auras, even if it's a support. And it's going to be pretty hard to fight into them. Very easy to get an Aegis. The Storm Spirit can go ham. You can just jump the backlines, kill the Venge, and then you actually open up those Black Holes from being cast. I do like what Monte has, but I think both drafts seem pretty balanced so far. At least, like, I think this 18 pick needs to be pretty impactful here from JustBetter. But at the same time, do they want to keep the flex of the gyro here? Because you have to pick a mid hero, right? Or something that flex mid and off lane if you want to keep that.
Yeah, you could pick up your carry, I guess, right now. But the thing is that Monte have last pick anyway. So they are going to be able to respond, like you say, flex that Enigma between the support and the off lane in this final pick. So they know what they're going to be coming up against anyway. Would you hear... I don't know, because, like you say, do they want to flex this Gyrocopter and pick up the mid and maybe leave it as a surprise, or just lock it in and risk getting a couple of heroes ban out for their mid laner?
I think it would be crazy to play Enigma offlane into carry Gyro.
Yeah.
And I don't think Gyro is a bad matchup against Luna, honestly. So I would actually keep the Gyro as a carry. I would pick the mid here. And okay, there we go. That's the flex to the mid and off lane we're talking about. Not sure where it's going to be. I think both DK and Kunk are fine laning a Storm.
Yeah, big tanky heroes, a lot of control on both sides. Early on. Who would you prefer in the mid lane?
I think rather than looking at it this way, I would look who's actually better against this Luna +1. And I think the DK is better. I think DK is a bit more stable. I would probably have Kunkka playing. I think Kunkka can fight without items, whereas DK, he relies on more things. And DK's builds are usually very greedy. I would rather see Kunkka being made and play the DK off.
Yeah, I think it helps that the Kunkka might want to be roaming around and not committing to one lane, when he gets that power spike, whereas the Dragon Knight can get that early dragon form in the lane, take that tier 1 tower and put the pressure onto the Luna, just keep staying in that lane and not have to rely on that rotations, whereas the Kunkka, not as quick a tower taker as the Dragon Knight, so won't be able to put as early pressure on that Luna, I don't think so. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the Kunkka mid, maybe this Dragon Knight in the off lane, and we'll see what the final bans are going to be. But looks like Monte, they ban out the Medusa, maybe thinking this is going to be the support Gyrocopter here.
Yeah, pretty event that, but they did play a lot of Medusa on focus. It is the hero's been playing the most, alongside Lifestealer and Weaver. So I actually wouldn't mind seeing the Lifestealer ban if they are pretty sure this Gyro is going to be a support, because can infest the Nick, can infest the Luna. It's a really strong pick right now. They're gonna have 3 melee tanky cores, and honestly, Monte, I could see them running out of gas, running out of damage. Rubik.
Yeah.
Sometimes with steals, I don't see any like super high heals that you can cast from like afar in the mid and late game, right? Early on, maybe you steal Rocket Barrage, that's a lot of damage. You're not gonna be in melee range to any of these cores later on.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see them pick something that has a bit more damage on Monte. They do ban the TP here, which is also a fine ban.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, the only real big spell I'm expecting the Rubik to get the steal off on is the boat, which would be more of a help to his teammates. Being able to get that run buff bonus as well in the fights. I would like to see someone that stands up front as well for Monte, can just take a lot of punishment. Looking at the offlaners that are left, maybe is the Mars still there? Maybe the Mars or the Tidehunter, something like that, that can trap a couple of heroes in. Although I suppose with the swap, okay, so just better to go for the Hoodwink. It is going to be that carry Gyrocopter, unless we're going to get something really funky with this Hoodwink, but it does look like it's going to be the carry Gyro.
All right, yeah, I like it. I think you just keep it. You don't care. For most of the other offlaners they can pick on Monte. I think out of the heroes that they Slaughter still available.
Slaughter.
So,
yeah, really like
yeah,
that.
1 versus Road did play a fair amount of it. If they don't pick the Slaughter, then we're gonna be in uncharted territory here, at least from the games that they played. They do go for that Mars I talked about. Not that a fan, just because of the way flag cannon works. But it is, I guess, damage. I mean, it is not that much damage. I like what they're going, with this Mars, but I think they're gonna be capped out pretty early. I feel like if this goes late enough, JustBetter just has an easier to play draft. They have way more damage, way more burst. I think their team fighting looks a bit better, even though it is the Enigma on the enemy side. I think the Enigma is probably also the trump card that they have here. If they can get good fights where you kill the Venge, yes, this Enigma can be useful. Yes, he can scale. But I don't know. I just feel like JustBetter actually has a better draft, even though I feel like they're not the favorites for this
10
series.
seconds remaining.
I mean, you were talking about damage. Burst damage-wise, Infernal gets himself that brooch, gets himself the double rapier, and all of a sudden heroes are going to start, disappearing. And I expect that to be the build as well. I think just control-wise, I like Monte's draft. I think they will be able to chunk down. And again, they take one... If they get an opener on a tier 3, Luna's going to rip through the base as well. So, backline dive coming out from the Storm Spirit can easily take down the Hoodwink as well as the Vengeful Spirit as the fight starts off. I think I'm leaning towards Monte just a little bit, but like, 80-20. Not maybe not even that, like a 60-40. How do I want to say? Yeah, it's going to be close, I think. I'm just barely giving the advantage here to Monte, and JustBetter. I'm not ruling them out, I'm not saying they can't win it, but I think I just like Monte's draft a little bit better.
I think they have a really good timing with the Luna. If they win the lanes, it is very easy to play that draft. You just get the tier 1s, you can Roche, and you give the Aegis to Storm. But I think that's a game where if you don't end it with the second Aegis, things start to get a little bit hard. I just feel like, I see Venge and Gyro. It's such an easier draft to play. But at the same time, there's a lot of weight here on Spartan because that Storm is the hero that can look for him. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the wards and how the vision is going to dictate whether Spartan gets to, cast some really good swaps or if he's going to die at the beginning of the fight and then the game opens up completely.
Yeah, and we'll see how it is going to go out. There is just a pause at the minute. So as we get into it, we are going to be able to, just take a breather. Take a look at the odds coming through as well between JustBetter and Monte. Monte coming through as the favourites in this series, it looks like. And yeah, just seeing how this one's going to break down. Like I said, I think I'm just leaning towards Monte here. I just like the draft a little bit better myself. But absolutely, yeah, if there's a good start coming up from JustBetter, if they put this early pressure on from the Dragonite, take down this tier 1 tower, he is going to be able to roam out, maybe, lock the Luna into a jungle and harass her through as well, because Luna starting off, not the tankiest hero in the world, decent amount of armor, but not the biggest health pool. So if you've got some good magic damage, some good hunters to come through here in the enemy jungle, you might really be able to slow down this Luna farm.
Yeah, one thing that I'm afraid for this Luna lane is that I believe this is a position 5 Enigma, right? Hebrew FY is there 4, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Yes. So this Hoodwink here is really strong against Enigma, even in the early levels, especially if you get like a Blightstone, which so far he doesn't have. You like level 2 Acorn Shot kills all the Eidolons very easily, and that's the problem. That's what Enigma does as position 5. You want to trade with this demonic summonings. Actually, I guess it used to be Conversion. I forgot that they changed the spell, but also changed the name. But anyways, I think this lane's going to be hard, because if you can consistently kill the Eidolons, there's not much this Enigma does as a hero. And so the Luna might be pressured quite a bit.
Yeah, no, we will have to keep an eye on this lane and see how that one plays out. Is that where you're focused, do you think, early on for the kills? Do you think we should be keeping an eye on this Luna lane just to see how it goes early aggression-wise?
Yeah, probably. Looking at the other lane, there's still some aggression with this Mars Rubik. It is a strong lane. But I think it's more unlikely we're going to see First Blood in the safe lane of JustBetter than in the safe lane of Monte. And, mid's going to be as loose fast as just Storm and Conka, Hidden Creeps.
Okay, and Let's take a look through as well, just to see how this is going to break down. Mid lane wise, the Storm Spirit up against the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight never really loses this lane, right? You know, he should have the advantage in the lane. It's going to be a big tanky boy. There's not a lot of burst damage coming through from Moonlight. The Dragon Knight's not going to be able to shrug off. So, build wise, what are you expecting from the Storm Spirit? Are you expecting the Witchblade or an Orchid to come out quick and look to go again ganking, or do you expect maybe the Sanj and Kyron a bit more survivability here on the Storm?
I think it depends on how his game's gonna go, but I think Kaya Sanj is really important this game. So
yeah,
regardless of the order, he's definitely gonna buy it. But ideally, you want to get the Witchblade first. I think for Moonlight, it really increases your kill potential. As a fight might be breaking here.
Yeah, there is with the magic missile coming out onto the Mars now. The Mars did step up with the God's Rebuke. He's gonna be bushwhacked to the tree. A lot of damage coming through here. 4 heroes coming out from the side of JustBetter. They might just be able to run him down here. Infernal's gonna go down, and Astral, he does pick up the first blood. They're even gonna be able to get the D-Water out here as well. So JustBetter starting out. JustBetter.
Wow, I was very confused. The Gyrocopter was holding his kill point the whole time, but I guess, you know, they're just pro players. They knew exactly how much damage they could deal, and it was just enough to get the kill. He actually started with the Flag Cannon despite the fact that Enigma is in the other lane, so that's a bit interesting. But maybe they just want to pull this lane, get level 2 faster. If you kill this Mars twice with the level 2 power spike, it could be huge for the state of this lane.
Yeah, and you can see there's a lot of harass coming out here into the lane. So the Mars immediately going to have a massive impact in this one. You'll force the heals out, force some regen out as well. And, you know, when he's not being hunted by 4 heroes, he does have a bit of a good time. So we'll see what he's going to be able to do in terms of the blocks as well. Gets that pull through. So we'll be able to bring the equilibrium back into the dire favor. And just let's see how aggressive they're going to be able to get onto Focus and Spartan here. If they're going to be able to get anything from this one. Level 1, so he's, again, only got that God's Rebuke. No Spear to come out, but it is a good setup here. Once that level 2 comes out for both of them, the telekinesis into the spear should be a really good setup for potential kills in this lane. And at the minute, they are just coming through on a couple of trades here. Focus, though, takes a lot of damage and has to back himself away from Infernal and the creep waves, too.
Now, the top lane is pretty interesting because even though they got the kill on Mars, Astro was forced to learn Bushwhack for that. So for the first levels, Nard was trading really well against the Hoodwink because you can't really kill the aliens as easily. But now that you get that Acorn shot, it definitely gets harder. At least he got 2 denies on the Eidolons, but still so easy for Astro to deal with it.
Yeah, and how do you then, you know, as this Enigma, how do you play around this lane? Because like you say, level 2, he's not skilled anything up just yet. Do you kind of look to ignore the Eidolons now and try and set up with the Malefice onto Astral and try and help the Luna to kills? Or do you still look for those Eidolons and look to dip in the jungle for your own farm every so often?
Oh, you definitely don't go jungle. I think ideally what you want to do is have pulls, and at least he didn't get blocked, but he also didn't get the stack. He might go for like a half pull here, which is fine. Oh, he didn't get it. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, he actually... That's actually the hypest pull I've seen in a while. But yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to lure the Hoodwink in so that you waste her time, right? You're going to be giving some Eidolons away, like we just saw, but at least you give the 1 versus 1 to Skylark, which I think is actually pretty fine. You're going to get some bracers on, but usually you should expect Astro to have a lot of CS in this lane, and as you can see, already has 5. Actually, almost ahead of Inferno, as we do see it kill bottom.
Yeah, and I mean, top lane, back onto the top lane, Agnar is going to go down, it looks like. Focus gets a kill onto QBFY, but it was a good setup. The Torrent, like I say, the Bushwhack into the Torrent, good setup. The damage coming through as well from the Tidebringer, and you can just see that it was, he just got caught out of position here, the Enigma, and it did cost him his life. But again, I mean, while this is going on, Crystallize not really being put under too much threat, so not only is he going to be able to find the farm, it looks like, but he is going to be able to find some solo XP for a little bit here as well, which isn't awful. As long as he always build up those levels for the Luna, you know, as long as he's not dying, should still be in for a good time on the lane or transitioning into that jungle farm here at Crystallize.
Look at those Eidolons, huh? They try to punish here, but it's just so hard. He wants to go for the Buckler, so at least that's gonna help a little bit, but Astro already having a pretty happy game, I would say.
Yeah, and let's take a look. In fact, bottom lane, Infernal is going to be chased away here by Spartan. It looks like he was trying to get himself in for the boundary and looking for a rotation out now as well. Magic Missile as well as that Wave of Terror is up. So it's going to be coming in with the Magic Missile onto the Mars. Where's that Wave of Terror to follow up? Doesn't go for it here. So won't be able to get the right click. In fact, I think if Spartan had gone for that, it's only level 1 onto that one, but it might have been enough damage with the right clicks, with the armor reduction there, to get the kill onto the Mars.
I mean, Inferno is struggling so much. He's 7-4 this game. He is way behind everyone else. And Mars is a hero, especially when he's playing in the offlane. You just need items. Like, this hero is not a really good rotator by himself. They do have this stack that they could try and pull and fix the wave, but I think they're doing a really good job at using the flat cannon and the rocket barrage to run at Monte and prevent anything from being done. They're gonna farm it as well. So, JustBetter having a great, 2k gold lead at 4 minutes? This is very rare, especially against one of our favorites here for the group.
Yeah, and it looks like in this lane, Infernal is a little bit hesitant to step up. You can see the Rubik having to use it over top lane. We'll come back to that in a sec, because there's going to be a lot of damage coming through once again onto Eknar. Eknar, does he go down here? Skylark, one more right click, but no! The Malphite is going to slow him down. Crystallize, he tries to get the body blocks off now as well. Astral, trying to do what he can. The nut shot. Oh, it only bounces the once. It puts the tree down. And Enigma will live through this one with 30-ish health. And again, they're just putting a lot of pressure onto both these side lanes. So you can see that in the pressure bottom lane. They do get the kill onto the Rubik. And I was going to say this Rubik, it feels like he's being forced to use his spells defensively. You know, the Fade Bolt as well as the Telekinesis, not being used to set up and help get a kill for Infernal. You know, it's just looking for the protection on the lane. And these side lanes, not really the best on the side of Monte.
Oh, yeah. And it is bleeding already, because when you look at this Enigma, the fact that he survived is actually probably worse. He has no boots, so this walk back to the base takes so long, and now he's TPing bottom. So they're kind of... Oh, no, if that spear actually connected, maybe they could get the kill and focus.
Yeah, it could have been nice. Meanwhile, Moonlight is actually going to be able to get the kill in the river with Astral, but it might cost Moonlight his life. No, Panda, he's not going to be able to get the final couple of hits here onto the Storm Spirit. The Storm Spirit will live. And there's Breathe Fire. I mean, there's only going to be the damage reduction. He's got himself. He's actually going to walk back in. The Dragon Tail comes through here. Focus will get the Infernal kill now. But one more right click. Moonlight, he's going to go down underneath his tier 2.
Damn, that's so clutch. He actually got a really weird ward in a cliff, but because he did it, the Rubik ended up going to D-ward, which opened up so that the DK could dive and get the kill. They also find poor Eknard in the bottom side. This game is out of control. 4k goal lead.
Yeah, and this is all gas, no brakes coming out from the side of JustBetter here. I thought the game would start off a little bit slower.
It towers down. Like, this is ridiculous.
It is just a great showing here, it looks like, from the side of JustBetter, and showing why. Well, at the minute, they deserve the name that they've come up with here. Infernal going to be able to get the spear with that contribute, does get the kill onto Spartan here, but it's going to put him in Focus's sights, and Focus going to be able to chase down Infernal with the rocket barrage. Look at the damage coming through, and Mars, I mean, usually a tanky hero, the Telekinesis has to save his life there, otherwise I think he goes down to Focus.
Yeah, this is really rough. At least they did get the Wisdom Rune with the Rubik, so level-wise, they're not doing as bad. I think the Storm is the one that's struggling the most. You know, he just got his 6, whereas the DK is close to level 8. But yeah, at least because they're going to get these level 6s at a decent time, there's a chance here for Monte to still get some rotations going. But I feel like it is a very explosive draft that they have on JustBetter, and they're going to explode KBUFY.
Yep, the Rubik, he is gonzo here. Panda able to get himself another one on the board, and they're just not slowing down here. We're not even 10 minutes into the game, and JustBetter, I mean, they're doing as good as a kill a minute here, and it looks like they're not even going to stop. We've got level 7 on Moonlight though, so he does have that ball lining to get himself away if he gets into too much danger. Regen Rune coming through as well. You know, every Storm's best friend, but like you say, this tier 1 tower in the mid lane, it is missing, so not only does it make the lane unsafe for the Storm, but it gives JustBetter access to both the triangle and the jungle on the side of Monte, and able to make these big rotations like this. The scan comes out, Rubik could be in trouble once again. Was our Acorn shot into it, and Eknar's going to be able to get another kill onto Skylark now, so maybe a nice fight back here, but QBFY. So the cooldown is going to connect with the magic missile now, and well, it will do. Panda's got the dragon form up. It's a double kill in the lane. You can see the odds shifting around here. It looks like JustBetter to be able to get themselves another tier 1 tower in just under the 10-minute mark.
Dude, they are on fire here. They're so fast. Yeah, they killed the Kunkka, but that is, you know, the fact that you're losing towers is a big problem, because Luna is a hero that farms really fast, but you need that map control. And it feels like they're just munching through it so fast. 2 towers being down mid 9 is not at all common. And I mean, this 5k goal lead is, I guess, is very fitting. This game is a stomp in the laning stage. And I don't think the lanes weren't that better for the Radiant side. So overall, very impressed that they were able to do this much.
Yeah, and it just feels like you say, that they have snowballed out of control here. They found a couple of good openings, especially with that first blood there as well, just being able to make the rotations. That's something that the Twin Gate allows, right? That you don't even need to spend a TP to do it. Bottom lane, they might be able to get another kill. Yeah, they should be able to get another kill onto Infernal here. Body block coming out from Spartan. He's level 6 as well, but Moonlight does jump in. Arena's going to be hit. Look at the rocket barrage damage coming through, though. Moonlight, he has to pull the ripcord, get himself out of here, and the Mars will full focus with the flat cannon coming through. Moonlight's got to be really darn careful. Even Aknot rotating into this one. But while this is going on, it does mean that the Luna up on the top lane, he is going to be at risk. Crystallize the boat into the torrent, and this is going to be the Luna going down. Surely 3 heroes TP coming through. QBFY, is this going to be enough to keep him alive here? Crystallize the acorn shot, but the bushwhack, it does connect, it gets the kill, and Astral being able to snipe the Luna with this dragon form up now as well. They're going to be able to go back for the last tier 1 tower on the map for the side of Monte.
Yeah, like what's very, very apparent is that cores on the side of JustBetter are very tanky. They just lack damage on Monte because they lost the laning stage. Like Mars plus Storm, not able to kill like either Avenger or Gyrocopter is crazy. But it just goes back to the fact that I think a 7k goal lead right now is like an entire core worth. On the side of Monte, it's actually 2 cores net worth. They are really poor right now.
They are really not having a good time now. The Dragon Knight has the Mage Slayer out as well, going towards his Blink Dagger, so he is going to be able to put the Quash onto pretty much everything apart from the Luna's right click coming out here from the side of Monte if he does get involved. You know, looking at it item-wise, what have you got? So you've got the Storm Spirit still going towards... He is going towards this Orchid here onto the Storm Spirit, but this is going to be a ways away, you know, coming out for Moonlight, and he's not going to have this early game impact that you come to expect from the Storm. And the Storm, for me, is one of the biggest snowball heroes in the game. If he doesn't get a great start, the impact that the hero has really drops off.
Rotation top. They might find Skylark. It's very low HP. Oh, but he actually breaks the smoke.
Yeah. Well, smoke breaks right next to the creeps here as well, so Skylark through the trees, like you say. Going to try and drop this torrent. There is going to be the ball lightning coming in onto Skylark. Skylark drops the bow. Swap's going to be here now as well. Is this going to be enough? With the backup of Panda coming in now as well, Skylark wants to get right back into this fight. Dragon Tail's going to stop the Rubik from TPing out. Now they're going to try and chase down onto Moonlight, but Moonlight has that ball lightning to get himself away. A lot of damage coming through, but it wasn't enough to get the kill onto the Kunkka, and just immediately, JustBetter on those rotations, were able to turn it around, not only save the Kunkka, but get himself a kill out of that there too.
Dude, that Kunkka was half HP and they don't get the kill. It is so brutal what's happening. And he might get an Orchid faster than the Storm. In fact, he will. He's 200 gold away.
Yeah. And this is the...
He's gonna destroy Moonlight's game if he's not very careful.
Yeah, this is going to be... I mean, I think we've talked about it. It might be on me and Otomo that if the Storm, you know, if you force them into an early BKB or an early, you know, Yule Scepter or something like that, you completely destroy the impact of the Storm Spirit's meant to have. Yeah,
you do. This hero is supposed to use control to get kills in the map. As you said, that's why he's a snowballing hero. If you have to like defend yourself rather than being the aggressor, you're already in a world of trouble. And I mean, just look at what is the prospects here for Monte. You click on Infernal, he has Blink Dagger queued up, but he has 300 gold. You click on this Luna, doesn't even have a Dragon Lance right now. And as we already talked about, Moonlight is far away from his Orchid, so he might be fouled. Oh, does zip away.
Yeah, the Kunkka not able to get on top, and you know, no swap into the Magic Missile to get that Orchid silence off there as well. Are you looking Kunkka-wise? Are you looking back to Ags and, you know, Shard, or do you expect maybe the BKB to take full advantage of this Orchid and get on top of the Storm
Honestly, I wouldn't mind a Blink if he really wants to be the Storm Killer, right? Because there's no save on the side of Monte. But I guess, you know, the standard way to play would be Ags. I think you can still get it, and it would be fine. Maybe you get the Shard if you want to make use of, you know, the 15-minute power spike. It's a pretty cheap item. But overall, I really love the Orchid. I think it's very hard to go wrong. But either Blink or Eggs should be fine.
Okay. And yeah, he might just be able to rely on Panda here, because I think Panda... Is this the Blink coming out to the Dragon Knight now as well? It is, and they're going to be able to get the Orchid lockdown onto him. Ooh, even the neutrals getting involved into this one, the Ancients, but Moonlight back into the X marks the spot, and Astral, he will be able to get the snipe there with the Sharpshooter to stun onto the Storm Spirit. He had no chance of surviving that.
That's the most efficient farming I've ever seen. You stack the Storm alongside the Ancient Camp, and you just farm it all at once. This is such a feels-good game here for JustBetter. They are on a roll, and I mean, they have some big names, so I did expect them to play well, but this is at another level. Like, they're just rolling Monte down.
And you can see the focus. He's already got himself his ag set to going back now for his crit stick as well. So, you know, this gyrocopter is pumping out so much damage. You've got, like I say, that JustBetter, it feels like they've taken over the entire map here. Bottom lane, though, there is going to be a jump onto the Vengeful Spirit. The Venge is going to go down. Infernal will pick up that quick kill with the help of Moonlight. And Moonlight actually swapping over to the Witchblade here. So is that going to be changing his mind on the Orchid? Yeah, just wants that Witchblade coming out here for the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's better because you're so far behind that even with the Orchid, you don't even kill supports. Like, Orchid is a really weird item. You need to get it at a decent time. Well, it is time for Inferno to probably die here. Really good bushwhack.
Yep, Sharpshooter being channeled here as well. Astral, he's looking to finish this one off. He misses.
Ooh, wow.
The spear pushes away. But yeah, the Dragon Knight hunted him down.
It's fine.
Doesn't see him. Oh, because he blinked into the little... No, he didn't even have a blink. He planted a branch. He planted a branch.
Right,
he walked out to the gap.
Top lane. Black Hole. Focus is dead. Oh, is he?
So you think it's a kill here now as well. They will be able to take down Eknat. Focus gets that one, and Crystallize gets really down low. Crystallize a lot of gold before he goes down with that kill onto Focus, but he will fall in the end as Panda was able to get himself up here now as well. Gets a kill onto QBFY, and this is going to be a 3-for-1 trade. So even though the Gyrocopter goes down, Amazing Black Hole comes through, they just didn't have the damage to finish it.
Yeah, so the upside is the gold exchange, even though they lost 3 heroes, is almost even.
Yeah.
But you did use Black Hole. So now, are you in any, is there any chance for you to do that again? Probably not. At least Moonlight's gonna live here. But yeah, that's the problem of having Enigma 5. I think the way they drafted here on JustBetter, just getting that gyro early, really kind of crush how they want to play. Because they're like, okay, we're fine. We're going to flex this Enigma to 5, and you don't care about the gyro. But the Hoodwink was such a good 23 pick from JustBetter. It really kind of shut down what the Enigma was supposed to do in the lane stage.
Yeah, and do you think that's something then you... Because, I mean, how contested is the Enigma here as well? Could they have waited a couple of picks to, maybe pick that up a little bit later on? Or do they need to pick that up first pick and make sure that they get it locked in?
Well, I mean, from what I've seen, they actually don't care about Enigma at all on JB. But even in South America, we were seeing a lot of first phase Enigma. So
yeah,
I guess, like, because I didn't see it go through enough to see if he gets banned in the second phase, I'm not sure I can answer. But I wouldn't say it's, like, in the top 15 most contested heroes. I would say it's, like, more like top 25, maybe. So yeah, maybe they could have waited.
Oh, it looks like QBFY, he tried to get the cliff out here onto the Kunkka, but all it's going to cost, all it's going to do is cost him his life there. Wasn't able to get the drag long enough onto the Kunkka. The Kunkka just sets up X mark, comes in Dragon Tail. It feels like every time we look at Panda here as well, he's in this Dragon form. I know it's not the longest cooldown, but he is just constantly getting these times off, and he's going to be able to get on top of Eknat now as well with the Dragon Tail. Blink Dagger in, and Panda, he sets up Astral for another kill. 4-1 and 6 on the support Hoodwink, going towards the Greaves here for him. Going to be a really nice pickup.
By the way, Skylark, we're talking about his item here. He actually decided to get a Halberd. Very interesting choice. I mean, okay. I think, we're talking about lack of damage on Monte, and I think that kind of doubles down on that. Both the Storm and the Luna range heroes, so that disarm is going to be super impactful. If you get one disarm off in the Luna or the Storm, I mean, the Storm is so far away from BKB. He might not be able to do anything. And the Luna, she's rushing it, but that's it. That's going to be the only meaningful item she has. No Yasha, no... Oh, they find QBFI.
Yeah, QBFY once again. The Bushwhack isn't going to connect here to the Luna, so the X-Mark, though, the drag back into the boat. They might be able to get the kill onto him. They take down Crystallize. QBFY survives for a little bit longer, but in the end, he will go down there as well. Spartan be going to be able to pick up the kill. Tier 2 tower goes down. You don't have this Luna now for 40 seconds, so we'll
Infernal.
see if... Oh, yeah, the rotation coming through. Infernal can get himself away from this one. Still got a branch. If he can find himself another hidey hole coming through, the arena does get dropped just to block off here. Infernal's going to be able to go for the TP out. No blink on Panda just yet. Will be able to get himself up the steps, and the Mars does get himself away.
Inferno's been doing a really good job at wasting Radiant's time. This is the second time he actually drags a lot of people to kind of a weird part of the map. Oh,
Yeah.
Fine. So I think that's actually very meaningful. This is buying time for some of the cores, but wow, Moonlight dies anyways. Actually,
it's not going great for Moonlight. You can see again the Storm Spirit 1, 3, and 2. 20 minutes into the game, you're expecting your Storm Spirit to be like 4 or 5 kills up, maybe 1 or 2 deaths if he's been super unlucky, and then maybe another like 4 or 5 assists here as well, and it's really just not kicked off here for Moonlight, and you can see that he's being put in the shadow of this Dragon Knight. The Dragon Knight is just roaming around 6-0 and 5 on Panda. He's got the Blink Dagger going towards the Manta style now, the Mage Slayer is up. He is just running this show here, Panda.
yeah, and I mean, you can see that Moonlight was very confused for like what's his role this game. He ended up going for the Orchid at the end of the day, and it's not paying off. He barely got to use it. They don't have initiators. They don't have anyone that can even like posture so that he gets vision to jump the backlines. It is a really rough game for them. So if they're gonna come back, I think it's gonna be out of mistakes here for JustBetter, which they are not making a lot of. I think they're playing very clean.
Yeah, they've traded off kills in team fights, but they've not really given one up to a gank in a long time. You can see that 23-6, like you say, it kind of shows that they're really not making these mistakes here. The Mars, once again, in this bottom lane, going to be able to get the TP out just before the Dragon Knight connects. The same frame, it looks like, on that blinking from Panda. But it sets up for the Roshan, and this is going to give a bit of breathing room here to Monte to maybe get some gold, but it's not going to be able to get a full item out. And once this is out, JustBetter, they're going to be able to look to take down all these, the last tier 2 towers out here for the side of Monte, and maybe even start to put pressure onto the high ground if you wanted to.
Exactly. I mean, just look at the items. This Venge, already level 12, so has a lot of range to work with the swap. The Vlads makes this Gyrocopter really hard to bring down. He's going to get a Satanic after the BKB. The lack of damage is just becoming such a problem, and like Mars forced to go BKB, Storm forced to go BKB, Luna forced to go BKB. There's no damage that's coming, and they're gonna smoke into these Aegis. You kind of have to hope we're gonna find heroes separated, which they will actually. Both Kunkka and Gyro away.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get themselves on top of the Dragon Knight. The swap comes out though from Spartan, going to be able to save Panda's life a little bit longer. Do they want to engage onto this when the Eclipse comes through? They do get the kill onto Panda. And now what can they do? Call down, but Moonlight is going to be able to get the jump away with the ball line in here. Crystallize can be tracked by this homing missile, but he should be far enough away. Spear misses actually an Infernal. He's going to go the other way, maybe try and pull some of this aggression away from Crystallize, who did get stunned up. So Infernal, it looks like he might be the sacrificial lamb if he does get caught out. No Blink Dagger here for the Mars, but he, again, like you say, he's wasting time from the side of JustBetter and will be able to get his teammates out alive. So good pick on the Dragon Knight here, and no follow-up from the side of JustBetter.
Yeah, I mean, really good read. They realized that both the Kunkka and DK were apart, and now they're gonna find Eknard.
Yeah, coming through Skylark here, there is going to be that stolen, or telekinesis won't get stolen here. Going to be the Torrent, but it doesn't matter. They still get the kill into Eknard, QBFY in the trees. No way to interrupt, just barely gets that TP away though.
They still have Black Hole, they have buyback, but that's a costly buyback for a hero like Enigma. He didn't even finish his Vlads, and I think that would help this Luna fighting quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
they find the Luna TP. Crystallize.
Speaking of, yeah, Crystallize gets caught out. There's going to be the Dragon Tail coming through here, chase down Manta Illusions from the Dragon Knight.
His own Manta.
Oh, the Torrent, it doesn't connect as well. Crystallize, the Dragon Tail will still be here. Crystallize, no way he makes it out of this one. The harass damage is just way too much. He's going to waste a little bit of time, but it doesn't matter. They still get the kill as the Mars once again just takes up his resident camping spot here in this corridor of farm. Now has that BKB. Only going to be about 300 gold off the Blink Dagger now as well. So we'll see if this is going to be enough to turn it around and Monte get something out of this match.
Yeah, they want to get the Tormentor here. The Luna did die, but cut the wave, so Even though they got that kill, there's actually no wave allowing JustBetter to do anything. But they're going to get a Tormentor, which is a decent prize.
Yeah, and I wonder who gets it. It's going to be... Okay, Astral picked it up. So you do get the Boomerang now coming through as well, which...
You would definitely prefer the Venge one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say Magic Missile probably would have been the more preferred choice. But, you know, maybe next time. I mean, you still have your own Tormentor.
Guardian grieves already. She's so far. She's gonna surpass Moonlight if this game keeps going this way.
Yeah, big jump up. The difference between the Enigma and the Hoodwink in terms of net worth. That it's just like I said. I mean, she's been involved in so many kills though. This Hoodwink, 5, 1, and 8 here. This is just looking tidy for the side of JustBetter.
And this is what I like, right? A lot of the Hoodwinks these days would just buy Maelstrom, right? We would default to Maelstrom, but they realize that the only way for them to win this fight is the Storm or the Mars jumping the backlines. But if you build Greaves and you just play with Spartan, how are they gonna get a kill? Like, it's impossible. They already lack damage. And so instead of doubling down damage that they already have a lot, they just build Greaves and Hoodwink, which is very unorthodox, but I think for sure the right choice this game.
Yeah, like you say, just being able to sustain through these fights as well. You've got the Vlads coming out here for the Vengeful Spirit. You've got the, like I say, those Guardian Greaves. So between the two supports, they should be able to keep these big tanky heroes going as well. Focus going to take a lot of damage. Still has this age or so for the next minute and 10 seconds. So if he wants to, can wait for this next creep wave, try and force something out up against Monte. And he's got the BKB still, so even if that Aegis pops, he will be able to walk himself down the cliff and away. Just has to be careful on the timing, though, that he doesn't get caught out as the Aegis fades. It's going to be the smoke coming through from Monte. We'll see what they're going to be able to do. Storm Spirit, does he... I don't think he saw the courier coming out here from the gyrocopter.
He does have a ward, actually, so he did see it, but he is waiting for it.
He's waiting for it to come back. He's going to be able to take it down now. So, is that the Satanic? I think it is. Yeah, for at least 2.5 minutes here for Focus. Well, I mean, he could pick it up anyway and use that second Claymore for the Butterfly.
True. Very true. He wouldn't mind. As we do see... Oh, they're going to find his DK again.
Dragonite, they use the Black Hole for this one. They're going to have the lockdown. They do take down Panda. But is that going to be worth it? The arena comes out now on the back lines as well. That Aegis is going to be there for the next 15 seconds. So who are they going to be able to go to? Spark's going to be able to get the swap power. Astral's going to survive through this one. The boat, it crashes down. The BKBs come through. But the physical damage from Focus now as well. And it looks like the side of Monte, they just need to run themselves away from this one. BKB still going on Moonlight. No, it wears off. There's going to be he's going to be bushwhacked out. Going to be controlled here. The shot comes through. They should be able to get the kill. They take down Focus though. QBFY, he's going to be the one to get the lockdown out. And as a safe spot, he's got that Spirit Vessel on top of him. Good fight coming out from Monte, even if it costs them the Storm Spirit here. They want to carry on going. There's going to be the God's Rebuke, but Bushwhack locked down onto Mars. Was that spear 2 seconds away? Astral might be able to get himself away from this.
God damn, that was so beautifully executed from Monte. You smoke, you find the DK by yourself, which, by the way, that was definitely on DK. But it felt like it was not going to matter. They saved the Hoodwink with the swap. She gets the Greaves off. The fight continues. But they bought just enough time for Aegis to wear off and kill this Focus Gyrocopter. This is huge. The Luna surviving through all of that. Like, network-wise, this is a big boost for Crystallize. And, well, if he dies, it might not matter that much. I think he will.
Yeah, you can see that, like you say, the damage coming through. Panda, in real time, was able to get the kill onto Crystallize, so he didn't survive for too much longer, though. Going to be dead for a minute. We'll see what advantage that JustBetter are going to try and pull from this.
No buyback. Of course, they don't know, but they're still going to try and poke. No Black Hole means that they can force this quite a bit. So this might be a lane of barracks, actually.
Yeah. The Enigma going for the Vlads as well, the Spirit Vessel. How much do you like this? So even at the position 5 Enigma, would you just have preferred a Blink Dagger on the hero? Or does it not matter without the BKB being there as well? Just because there's so much to deal with that Black Hole, even if he does initiate.
Yeah, even with the BKB, this is like, right, you're against swap, you're against, yeah, I mean, mostly swap, like, that's enough. Ooh, they find an Enigma.
Speaking of a swap, it does get the swap in onto the Enigma. Enigma's going to go down. Might cost Spartan his life here. Taking tower shots through this now as well. Will go down. Arena on the back lines. What are they able to do? Jump in onto Focus. Focus taking a lot of damage used to that cooldown though. And Panda is going to be able to back him up. Focus with the BKB. He's still going to go down. Jump in from Moonlight. And I mean, this Luna's going to be up in the next second now as well. Is he going to TP into the middle of this fight? They get the Spirit Vessel onto the Dragonite. Dragonite taking so much damage, and the Luna will be TPing into this one. The Eclipse gets popped, and Panda taking a lot of damage into that telekinesis. They take down the Dragonite, and now the Kunkka silenced up as well from that Orchid. Do they have the damage to get the kill. The Kunkka is going to go down. Astal, is this going to be a 5-man wipe here? Monte, they're going to be able to clean up. They do lose a bit of their base, but they take down all 5 heroes on the side of JustBetter.
Oh, this was so greedy from JustBetter, man. They could have easily taken mid and just got out, and instead, they don't get mid. They get a tier 3 bottom. They don't get a range barracks. Ah, that was very... I mean, it came from super smooth to sloppy again, and, you know, Monte, they're fighting back, and considering their results this tournament, you shouldn't be giving them anything. We're down from like 12, 14k to 6, and I think this is going to go down quite a bit again, because there's no one farming on JustBetter. This is starting to get scary.
Yeah, this is a big window here that Monte will be able to take advantage of. It looks like they're not even putting pressure on the towers, like you say. They're just splitting up. They are maximizing the farm here, trying to get to those next big items, as the Enigma did get the mech out here as well, so he wants to go towards those Guardian Greaves of his own and really help his team. So he's going to be full aura build here on the Enigma.
Yeah. I mean, I like it, right? Like, you shouldn't even be able to get a black hole this game, so just play behind, make sure that you use all of those auras, and once a lot of the spells are being cast, maybe, just maybe, you get a black hole off, because there's a lot to worry about here as KBFI. Ooh, good blink out, but the missile was cast.
It's not going to connect before the TP, so it's only going to be going back towards the fountain. So yeah, I think JustBetter going to see this one and realize that they can't chase down here. How are we looking in terms of the Dragonite level 3 on the ultimate? He's got that Aghanim Scepter up now as well, so I think this is where your siege comes from here on the side of JustBetter, that you don't even need to risk stepping up to the high ground. You just use these Dragonite illusions to slowly siege down the base of the side of Monte.
Yeah, it's much easier for JustBetter to siege, but because they were able to give all of that net worth back to Monte, the thing is, what happens if you don't get the Aegis, right? Because you were playing and you were itemizing to end this game relatively early. Like, your Hoodwink's not going to scale because she ended up going for this defensive build. Your Venge also didn't get the eggs, got the Vlads instead. So some of the supports on the side of JustBetter didn't fully go the greediest possible build. And I think, you know, that allowed them to get to where they were. But you can't be giving those kills away, and it feels like Monte already maybe possibly smoking to stop this Roshan. 20 seconds until it spawns.
And how do you then see, how do you want to try and play around this one? The smoke coming out, you've got the Storm Spirit now as well. He's got that Karen Sanji up, so he's going to have the survivability coming through for him. It might be a big opening here. Roche is coming back up, so if they want to contest this, they need to do it now. They need to get themselves in, and it feels like, I don't know, are they second guessing themselves? Are they waiting for another big item here on the side of Monte?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they have a second smoke, because it felt like they just used the first one to get out of the base. They don't. If that was their only smoke, then they're screwed, because Roche is up, it gets scouted. Well, I mean, they did very well defending the base, but I think it was mostly JustBetter playing poorly than their draft being incredible at high ground defense. I think it's a decent high ground defense, but, you know, it's maybe a 6.5 or 7.
Yeah. The Luna is going to have the flag tree out now, at least it looks like. The Roshan Roar does come through here, so they know this is happening, but they're not going to be able to contest it in time. It looks like they're going to give it up. Maybe try and take down this tier 2 tower on the top. I mean, the Dragonite's TPing into this one. He's going to be Akmark trying to push out this lane here. Gets that blink out, but the Storm Spirit, he seems Panda. And, yeah, the dragback comes in for the Dragonite, but he wasn't able to get... I think he was looking for a support kill there as the Roshan was being contested, it feels like.
They did a really good job at dealing with every single wave, so they only have 2 creeps here in the bottom side, but all of the other lanes are pushed towards JustBetter. We'll see if you know, they feel like they can just YOLO this high ground, or if they're gonna try and deal with the other lanes. And it feels like they, you know, I think the right play is camp this triangle, cut the mid and bottom for like 1 or 2 waves, and then you're gonna feel very comfortable with the way the lanes are. Like, you still have 5 minutes, you might need some items to be finished up, like the DK's BKB is 400 gold away. I don't think they should rush this, because when they did, you know, this game should be over, honestly, if they didn't do like those 2 mistakes. The DK being picked off and then going high ground, let's say in an not the best way possible. Yeah.
The Gyrocopter is going to have that Daedalus coming out though, so that's going to be another increase in damage coming out from the Gyro. Like I say, he's got the Aegis, he's got that Satanic Up, he's got the BKB, so he does have a lot of protection coming through here. Crystallize, not going to be close to the full candor, just there for the Phylactic coming out here for the hero at the minute. And still going to be a ways away from that full, I mean, even the Chrysalis as well. With the 600 gold for the candor recipe on top, it's still going to be it's going to be over 1,000 gold here for Crystallize, so even though it is the Luna farming up, not going to be able to get it, it looks like, before this next fight, because Smoke coming out, that's just a Dragonite illusion here, nobody going to be fooled against it. Crystallize, yeah, just going to be able to clean that one up, but this is going to be the real Dragonite now, was get stolen. Telekinesis comes through into the Midnight Pulse, what are they going to be able to do? Panda taking a lot of damage here, it's going to be the QBFY, he steals the Dragonite form, you'll set her onto the Conker, do they want to get the spear back, they're able to get the lockdown onto him, they even get Focus into this one, but Focus has got that BKB coming through now, what's he going to be able to do? He's not used that Satanic just yet, just going to be his BKB.
This is, I mean, JustBetter. Their positioning, it has been lacking for a while. Like, this Skunka dies by himself, and Monte, they played so well. They found the Venge right from the get-go. They separated the fight because the Hoodwink was trying to help the Venge, and so she couldn't help and use defensive items in the arena, so they lose the Kunkka there. Just... you know, it's a mistake from JustBetter, because I think if they just set up on the triangle and, you know, they slowly try to push, they would be fine, but they kind of retreated and got separated. So Monte, despite the fact they're behind, they're the ones going for these aggressive moves, and now the good advantage is pretty much negligible.
Yeah, and what we were saying, it was like a 13-14k advantage before that last the last higher ground fight. QBFY is going to be able to get a shard now as well. Crystallize has his shard. Big item for the Luna, even though it's 1,600 gold, 1,500 gold, but the protection that Moonglaves is going to offer, it's just a really big item to be able to use here for Crystallize that allows him to get into the...
They find Mars.
He does get the kill here, he will take him down. Mars has that buyback. But Astral, again, Astral's been the real carry here, 8, 2, and 10 on the Hoodwink.
Yeah, but look at mid, that melee barracks already back to full HP. They're gonna get a range barracks with the illusion. How much are they willing to do? I really like the way they're posturing here. Only DK showing up. They're gonna show Focus on the other lane. They're separated because they don't want to be black holed by Bex here.
Aegis is still up for the Gyrocopter. Look at the amount of health he loses from that, though. God damn, he still has the BKB, but he used that Satanic trying to keep himself alive with the Aegis timing now. But will come through. He's got that run buff on him now as well. Will be able to back himself away. Cooldown gets used. But that was just a quick blow up on the Gyrocopter. He wasn't able to do anything. But again, has that BKB, so second time should be able to back himself out of this one. Getting close towards the butterfly now as well for the Gyro.
They're second guessing themselves. I felt like they could have probably brute forced that with the BKB. You just pop BKB, you go for it. If the black hole comes in, you can always get the swap back. I don't know. I feel like I think some of those mistakes are getting to them, because instead of playing sloppy, they're now playing overly cautiously. And this is buying time that Enigma finished the Greaves. He might now get a Blink Dagger. If, like, let's say Eknard gets a Blink Dagger you're not expecting, and they smoke, right? That's when you can actually make the Blink Dagger work, because you're kind of sad on the fact that this enemy is never gonna have a blink, and if you just get one and get a pick off before Aegis, this could completely change the game here and put Monte back into the driver's seat.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have that blink just yet, but he does have the Ogre Seal Totem. So he's going to have, it's not the instant initiation, but he is going to be able to close that gap if he feels like he can find the opening for a good black hole. Swapping it out for the Philosopher's Stone here as well means that he's going to be able to build that gold up. I wonder if he does opt towards that blink, or maybe he just goes in straight for the BKB, and then the only real way to deal with it would be the Vengeful Spirit with the swapping and putting the Venge, putting herself in harm's way.
Dire are scanning.
Venge now did finish a Glimmer Cape, just trying to run from the storm. He did buy his Dust though, so you can see that he's a very good player because he carries Dust despite the fact he has lots of slots.
Yeah.
Now, what is the move here for JustBetter? Because are you really just gonna wait until the next Aegis comes in? I think we're now at a point where Monte, they can hold their own. Like, the 6k goal lead barely matters. Sure, it's still a 76% win probability according to Dota Plus, but honestly I feel like this game's wide open.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, at this point, you'd feel like you're a racks and a half down here on the side of Monte. At this point in the game, with how dominant JustBetter have been, you would have thought they would have been locked into the base, just looking to get the farm that pushes in from the lanes. But they're fully out of the base here. They are feeling confident, like you say, and it's going to be at least 1 minute and 40 seconds until that next Roshan timer comes up. I mean, it could be the longer timer here as well. And it feels like that's JustBetter. That's what they're waiting for here. But there's so much that can go wrong between now and the Roshan respawning.
Yeah, and the thing is, how is Monte... Oh, look at that. They actually queued the blink on Enigma.